Joe Cordina, which I
Oh,
deliberately.
Diaz.
I should have baited Zelfa Barrett a little bit more about you in that
Oh no.
little.
Well, I thought you were gonna mention my name.
No, I was gonna, but I didn't want to get any beef going because I want to keep you two apart just for a little bit. You know, I think that's a mega fight that's gonna be mentioned. Firstly, I'll go backwards on him. What do you think about Zelfa Barrett?
Good fighter. I've watched him for a while. Obviously, I know he's good mates with Lyndon, and yeah, even when I was an amateur, I used to watch him. He's a good fighter, man. Good.
I think, Joe, like one of the things that people talk about is when you come down from lightweight to super featherweight. I think when you first come in, shout out to Whale Protein, by the way. Shout out to Whale, unrivaled sports drink. You know, when you come down from lightweight to super featherweight, for me, I was so pleased with that because when you came into the sport in the professional ranks, you come in at super featherweight, you moved to lightweight as well. And you went on, you won a British title at lightweight. No problems. But I was so pleased with not only how you boxed against Tinoco in Monaco, but how well you made that weight as well. And you feel that that's going to be the weight class that you're going to go on and challenge for a world championships at.
Yeah, I believe when I was at lightweight, I didn't get out of first gear, sorry. And I beat everyone in front of me very comfortably. And I was just making weights too easy. I was going to the gym the week of the fight, and I'm only like a pound, 2 pound over. And Tony's keep telling me you need to move down. So obviously I was just brushing that aside. But obviously when you start stepping up the levels and you start moving towards European and world level, they're all big guys and they all can punch. They all fit. They're all strong, and that's when the weight is going to be the big difference. So I just thought, let me try it out, see how I get on. And to be honest, I made it just as comfortable as I made lightweight. So for me, it was the best decision I ever made.
I don't want to embarrass you, but for me, you are probably, I think, one of the top young prospects in world boxing right now. And I think prospect is maybe a little bit of the wrong word because, like I say, you're already world ranked. You've already won British titles. But I think you're ready now to take that step for a name. You know, top 15. We know you were due to box early May in Cardiff. That's more likely to be either behind closed doors at end of June, July, or even running into August as well. But where do you feel you're at? Because I know it's like you never call anyone out. You never have any smack talk at all, which I like because I think you've got a great image and I think you're going to be a great ambassador for boxing, particularly in Wales. But for me, the way you breeze past Tinoco and those kind of guys, I really think, Joe, that, and I know we're led by Tony and the guys in the gym, but I really think next should be that kind of name. We looked at the likes of Johnny Gonzalez and, you know, those kind of names. I don't think you're far off fighting for a world title.
Yeah, well, you know the names that we were looking at, and there was 3 of them that was ex-world champions. So for me, that's where I want to be. I want to be in that mix. I believe the talent I got is good enough. I work hard. Obviously, you know that. You speak to Tony quite often, and I'm one of the hardest workers in the gym. So for me, and not only that, I've sacrificed so much of my life, not just for the boxing and the going out and all that sort of stuff. I've sacrificed staying home with my family. I live away up in Essex with Tony. I actually live with Tony.
In Tony's house.
Yeah, in Tony's on the side in the garage. So I've sacrificed so much, and I believe that I'm capable of beating the world champions right now. There's one that is like that, and I think, okay, a little bit more time.
Who's that?
I'm realistic. Birchelt.
Yeah,
I'm realistic. I'm not one of them. Yeah. Just to say, oh yeah,
well, you don't need to gamble.
Myself. No,
but you don't need to. I mean, look, everybody's got to gamble at some point, but for me, you gamble when it's the right time to gamble, and to put you in those kind of fights. I believe you can beat Jojo Diaz. I really do, and I believe you can beat Miguel Birchelt. But what you know, the thing is why now? You know, I think everyone's going to be under pressure when we come back to have those compelling fights, and that's good for you because I think you're ready for it anyway. But like again, it's just a case of pulling the trigger at the right time, but also understanding that you can't. You coming out of that Rio class, you know, with Buatsi, with Josh Kelly, you know, you got Kelly stepping up to fight Avanesian. That's a proper test. Buatsi not going to be long. You got a Coley's fighting for the world title. So it's almost like you got to stay relevant with those guys and move at a similar pace. But it's when everybody feels you're ready. But I honestly think you're going to be fighting for world titles in 2021.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to get it towards the end of this year, but obviously we never knew this was going to happen, and obviously everyone's in the same boat. So, 2021 is definitely, I'm looking to fight for a world title, and not just fight for it, win it, and defend it. Like you said there, I believe I can beat Jojo Diaz, even Burchelt, but he's the one in the division that you look at and you think, okay, right, maybe I need a couple more world level fights. And then we take him on once we've had that and the experience at that world level. But I believe I can beat Jamal Hearn, all of the world champions in the super featherweight division. So yeah, I think I'm ready now, and I've sparred world class opposition all my life. Do you get me? Even when I was an amateur, you had Kevin Mitchell coming to spar us, and things like that. I sparred hundreds around with Luke Campbell.
You spent many rounds. Yeah.
Luke Campbell, I sparred hundreds around with Luke Campbell and picked so much and learned so much off of Luke. And yeah, I believe I'm ready.
Talk about that relationship with Tony Sims, because one thing I've noticed about you is, and I don't know whether it's just you're expressing it a lot more, but you've always been quite a quiet guy, but you've gone particularly focused now. I know I've noticed that your faith is very strong as well, and I know that's a big part of Tony's life as well. But a good solid trainer fighter relationship with you and Tony Sims, and seems to be gelling really well.
Yeah, I speak to Tony like even when I'm home. I've been home now for the last like 3-4 weeks, and every night he'll send me a new fighter to watch or a new fight. I spoke to him yesterday. We were on the phone for about 40 minutes and just going through fighters and different eras and whatever else. And when I first got got in with Tony and started working with Tony, it was just we gelled straight away. And for me, it wasn't about, he looks good and he does all this. It was just the advice he was giving and how he looks after his fighters. And for me, that's what I needed. I'm moving away from my family. I don't need no one coming and sort of taking me for a ride. He's solely into his boxes, and that's what I love. He's up in the mornings with us running. He does everything with us, and obviously I live with him, so I'm spending the most time with him. And even now and again, he'll just say, "Oh, Joe, come in the house. I'm going to watch a fight. Do you want to watch this? We'll be watching this show." So that's what I love about Tony. He's a proper man.
Finally, big plans underway to try and get boxing back in some capacity. We know that initially it could be behind closed doors. How does that sit with you? We know, like, you got to fight. That's at the end of the day. But I really feel that sometimes when you get that kind of environment, fighters can slip up, whether they haven't had the right camp because they've come back, or whether they just can't lift themselves for that performance at that particular time in front of 40 or 50 people in a weird environment. You know, it's a bit like, you know, when you boxed on the big shows, the AJ shows, sometimes you box a little bit early and there's not really many people there and you can't really get the heart or the adrenaline going to produce that performance. But for you, just business as usual, just something you've got to go through and try and reach that performance.
Well, if you speak to a Coley, Buatsi, Josh Kelly, all them fighters, you ask them some of the shows we've been on in the amateurs and how many people are there. And some of them are like horse stables. It's unbelievable. And we've boxed all around the world, Kazakhstan, with actually no one there apart from the coaches and some of the other boxers. So it's no different to me. There's someone across trying to punch my head off, and I'm going to try and do the same with him. So it's not an issue for me fighting behind closed doors or in front of 80,000 people. It doesn't matter to me. But the one thing is, and that one thing I'll be concentrating on is getting myself close to a world title. So that's my motivation, and giving my kids whatever they want in the future. So that's what motivates me, and that's what gets me up every morning when I'm running and in the gym when I'm training. So that's what I'm focused on.
Good man, Joe. Class words. Stay ready. I know you will be. Won't be long, mate.
Of course. No, I'm ready. Always.
Good man. All right, we'll speak soon. Everyone's showing their muscles off today. This is making me feel sick. All right, Joe. Take care, mate.
Ciao, mate.
Bye-bye. Joe Cordina there. For me, just such a brilliant prospect. Joe Cordina against Jojo Diaz. Oh, go on then.